Hey guys, I thought that I would make this video to help you guys get free and cheap games during this quarantine that we're probably on right now, although most of these tips will apply to when things return to normal as well. So I personally don't have that much money, and I haven't paid full price for a PC game in years, so here's how I found a lot of these deals on games that I bought. I'll link some timestamps, the biggest takeaway in the description below, so you can skip around to it whenever you want. And these will not be specific suggestions to any one video game, but rather a means of getting games generally. This will be a PC-specific guide, and some of these are more widely known, some of them are more niche, so feel free to leave your own tips if I forget any. I would love to see those as well. So let's go into the tips to see how to get free games first. So first off, if you have not, you should be getting those free Epic Game giveaways every single week. You know, they've been out for a little over a year now, maybe like a year and a half or so, and they're weekly giveaways of usually multiple games that can be some pretty good games, can be some niche indie games, but you should definitely be picking those up if you are not right now. I think they've released 70, maybe even more games at this point. And again, a lot of them are really good games. A lot of them are pretty fun. So if you're looking for free stuff, definitely check out that and definitely start picking those up. Some other websites often have some free game giveaways as well. So there's some that are some indie websites. So itch.io and IndieGala, for example, have a lot of giveaways all the time. They're often smaller budget indie games. Some of them are still really fun. Some of them are kind of shovelware, but it's kind of like the old Flash games. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but if you're looking for free stuff, there's a lot of stuff to check out there as well. Some of them are permanently free and some of them are usually priced pretty cheap that have occasional free giveaways, so you can check those out. And a lot of the bigger storefronts will have giveaways as well, so you'll find free games on Steam, you'll find some free games on GOG, and you'll find some free games on like Humble, for example. More specific to right now, there's a couple of giveaways. If you go to gog.com/partner/stay-at-home, there's some free games right there. Some of them are just trials, but some of them are some older games that are full games for free. There's an itch.io list of a bunch of free games compiled by some Reddit user that I'll link in the description below. And you can see there that there's games that are usually at a price but are now free on itch.io that you can check out. There's a lot of them, and some of them seem pretty fun. And again, kind of just wade through them on your own, sort of see which ones seem like they're worth your time and which ones are not. Now, this is kind of a resource that applies to both free or discounted and cheap games. So if you go to Reddit, you go to certain subreddits, they have good posts about free or cheap games. So if you go to r/game deals, you can find a bunch of cheap deals or free games. If you go to r/game deals free, as the name suggests, it's all game deals for free games. And that's a lot of the ways that I found a lot of the deals of free games that I got. And there's a lot of Steam giveaways and sales right now because of the quarantine. There's a lot of other people giving stuff away. So these are good resources for all the time if you're looking for cheap games, looking for free games, but especially right now because a lot of people are giving stuff away or a lot of people are having discounted sales because I know everyone, like me, are at home right now with a lot more free time. So be sure to check those out if you're looking for free and cheap games. But also some cheap game subscription services. So Xbox Game Pass has been on Xbox for a while, but it's now currently being brought to PC. So it's in beta right now, but so it's pretty cheap. It's at $5 a month and has a lot of good games for the price, especially if you're planning to play a lot in the next month. And you can tally up to 3 years of the Xbox Game Pass, upgrade to Ultimate, which would include Xbox Gold, which would include the PC Game Pass, which would include the Xbox Game Pass, and you can get all of that for a pretty cheap price if you have an Xbox as well. It's still in beta, as I mentioned earlier, so it has some bugs with it. I couldn't quite get a couple games run correctly. I had some performance issues, but as a whole, I've definitely gotten my money's worth. And there's some specific deals for first-time purchases, first-time subscribers. So I think I got 7 months or so for like $7 by sort of comboing and chaining those deals. So if you're interested, look for some more specific deals for new-time subscribers. You can get a great deal there as well. One problem with that, though, is they rotate some new games in, which is obviously good, but that means they also rotate some old games out. So you might be wanting to play a game and they take the game out, but you just have to be aware of that, look for that. And if you really like the game, you can purchase it on the Microsoft Store and you can keep your progress from the Game Pass to, when it leaves. Another subscription service is Origin Access, which is EA specific. I've never used it because I'm not a big EA fan, but it's definitely there if you want to check out. And they have a basic tier and a premium tier with different perks and benefits of each of them. Next up, there's a couple services from Humble that are subscription, but not really in the same way that Origin Access or the Xbox Game Pass are. So the first one is the Humble Trove, which you get if you're a subscriber to the Humble Monthly, which is now called Humble Choice. So if you want to get it really, really cheap, you can just pay the $5 once, or if you have any of the other game subscriptions, you'll get this as well. And so it's basically 100 right now DRM-free games that you can download and keep forever. So if you pay the $5 once, if you get Humble Choice once, you can keep these games forever. And so if you're interested in these, you can download them all for pretty cheap. Another Humble service, which is more subscription-like, is Humble Choice, which will release a list of games, and you can buy how many games that you want. If you have the Classic subscription, you can get up to 10 games, but if you don't have the Classic subscription, they also have the option to get 3 of the games for $15 and 9 of the games for $20. And both of these will come with the Humble Trove as well that I was talking about earlier. And these are some great chances to get some games that are not the newest bleeding-edge games, but maybe like a year or two old games for a great deal, and get a bunch of other random games as well that you might not have checked out otherwise. So that's a really good deal. I've got these a number of times. I got a lot in the past and it was the monthly, and I still get it sometimes now that it's Humble Choice. If you get Humble Choice as well, you get a discount in the Humble Store. That's a great way to get discounts on some games that don't go in as large of sales. And finally from Humble, there's the Humble Bundles, which are not really subscription services at all, but once a week or a couple times a week or whatever sort of schedule they're on, they'll release these bundles of various games. So for example, a couple months ago, I got Stardew Valley for $10 in this bundle that also included 6 or so other games that were sort of farming related. So there's some bundles like that are really good. Some of them are less good, but these can be a really great way to pick up some games that you want at a good price and pick up some other games as well that you might not have tried otherwise. But also a couple good sites to check out, not for the deals themselves, but sort of compare the deals. So there's istthereanydeal.com and gg.deals. And these are some good websites to compare current sale prices or just current prices periods to sort of past sale prices. And they have some benefits and drawbacks each of the two websites. Although I'd recommend you sort of just look at them yourselves to see which ones you like more. So I personally use gg.deals more. Is is also nice, but sometimes there's a problem with if I try to search a game, it'll come up with 2 different editions. So obviously the Game of the Year edition should have a different page than the standard edition, but sometimes Is There Any Deal will have like 5 pages for the standard edition, which is just a little confusing. And gg.deals will also tell you if that game is part of a subscription services, whether it's part of, Origin Access, whether it's part of the Xbox Game Pass. And you can also sign up for email notifications of historical lows. So if you really want a certain game, but you don't want to buy it right now, you can sign up for an email subscription to get notified when it goes on sale for a historical low, or if it goes below a certain price. So if you just want to buy a game that's $15, you can get an email notification when it passes that threshold. And using these websites, you'll see that if you buy a lot of games on Steam, you'll see that often it's cheaper to get them on third-party websites that come with Steam keys. A lot of third-party websites will sell them for a couple dollars cheaper than Steam as a way of urging people to use their website instead of Steam. It's a way of saving a couple bucks here and there when you're buying games. That said, I would strongly recommend not buying keys, not buying games from services like G2A that are sort of buying and selling third-party keys. There's no verification that these keys are not fraudulent, and these keys, if you use them, if they are fraudulent, can result in revoking the key, losing access to the game, or account bans for certain types of games if you buy them. So just be very careful with those kind of services. I really recommend paying a couple extra bucks and just buying it from a reputable seller. And finally, I recommend sort of patience. This isn't really a quarantine specific tip, but you'll see that a lot of the games, you look at istthereanydeal.com, or if you go to gg.deals, you'll see that a lot of games will go on sale for pretty low if you just wait a couple years after release, or even like 1 year after release, or a couple months depending on the game. And if you wait for certain sales, you can get games for half the price or even more off current prices. So if you're just patient, wait for some summer sales, wait for some winter sales, watch specific games more carefully, get the notifications, you can get games for much cheaper than you would at full price. So be patient, you can get a lot of games for much cheaper than full price. Although obviously in all this, be careful not to just buy a bunch of games you don't need, but that's sort of a separate conversation. So thanks for watching this video. I hope these tips were helpful for you. If you have any more tips that I didn't mention, feel free to mention them in the comments. I'd love to hear them as well. I'm always interested in finding new ways to get cheap and free games that are fun to play. So thanks for watching. If you'd like to see some reviews I've done of various games, I'll link the playlist in the description below. And like this video if you like this video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content. Thanks.